there, this is an article demonstrating how to integrate Jotform with your custom FileMaker application. So Jotform here is a cloud-based tool that allows you to retrieve information from your customers directly, right? And we want to be able to automate that process of getting that information from them and setting that information in your FileMaker solution. This is going to help just eliminate some of that busy work that you may be experiencing, and also deliver a more professional form using Jotforms, and also making it mobile friendly. They're a pretty good platform, so I wanted to show you how easy that was to do that. This is going to get a little bit into some of the technical minded scripting and such. So just want to kind of say we're going to be getting a little bit into that, but not going super deep into that. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into your Jotform account here. You can make a free one, and you may hit. You're definitely not going to be hitting the ceiling for pricing in order to need a paid account, but you can go ahead and log into yours right there. I've already logged into mine. So we're going to be creating a specific template just for the demo purposes here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new form, use template, and we're going to be using the new customer registration form. To keep things simple, I can just go ahead and hit, that's fine. We don't necessarily need to set that, although you can go in and specify some of these things, but we'll keep it simple. And I'll go ahead and remove these, again, for simplicity's sake, because these are a little too complex for what we need here. All right, so now that we've got that, we're going to add some other items here. So we have how did you hear about us, and maybe we want to add a referral program. So we'll go ahead and add a new element here. Let's go ahead and add a short text block right there. And let's put referral name, right? Just a couple of quick things here. We'll go ahead and require that. And then going into the advanced tab, we'll shrink. That's just to demonstrate kind of some of the items you can update as well. Now I want to make sure that this, and we'll dig into this a little bit more, but knowing that what these field names are good for integrations. So yeah, so that's good. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of different things here. So we're going to configure these options. All right, so I'm going to remove internet and do something like Google search. I know that is a greatest hit. And then I'm going to add referral as an option towards the bottom here. Great. All right, now you can see we have something here called conditional logic. So what I want to do is I also want to add conditional logic here. So I'm going to right click on this this guy right here and hit conditional logic. All right, let's go ahead and add a new one. So we'll do show and hide, and I'll show this in action, but this is just to allow us to only see the referral name when that how did you hear about us is selected as referral. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And Jotform is pretty cool in the sense that you don't really need to know too much programming, and this is probably the most detailed programming you need, at least for setting up the form. You will definitely need to know some programming for integrating with your FileMaker application. All right, so just to reflect some of those changes that I made, let's go ahead and preview. All right, great. I don't need to fill all these out quite yet, but you can see newspaper doesn't really do anything. Other, now this was already set up in the template, so it'll show the please specify, but if I, and of course it's yelling at you, if I hit referral, now instead of that, it's showing the referral name. That is part of the conditional logic that we just set up. All right, great. We'll go ahead and finish that up. All right. From here, we'll go ahead and get the API key rolling here. All right, so let's go ahead and go to our settings here, and we'll go to API. Now, I've already created a key. However, you can go ahead and create a new key, and then that will just create a text key that you can use. So let's go ahead and copy that. Now we can go right over here to the example file. And we've done all these steps here, as you can see. Let's paste the API key. Now for this form ID, let's go back to our form here in the builder. And you can see they have a pretty simple URL, and you can just grab the form ID straight from the URL. So I'm going to copy that. Let's go back to our example file. All right, we're almost done. We're not going to hit save quite yet. We're actually going to go ahead and respond to the form. So if you preview and then you say you give this link to your customers, for example, via email, for example, you can click that and it'll take you right there. Now I'll go ahead and fill it in. All right. All right. Okay, and here's that in action here, of course. So I'll say okay. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. And if you'll need an email to sign up with Jotform, so you should receive an email notification saying that you received that. You'll want to wait until that's done. However, we're going to go ahead and continue here. There we go. All right, now that that is done, we can go ahead and hit save. And I'll take you to the context. This is just an example of a module where you may want to pull new context from that submission that we just added. So I'm gonna we can see that we just set a default sync time sometime in the past. So we can go ahead and run this sync here, and it should pull in that submission that we just added. All right, and there we go. We have all that information here. So you can see that, DB Services sales team was in there, feedback and suggestions, all those sort of things that we did add in there. And we've updated the last sync time. So the way that we would imagine you may use this is, yes, you can do it manually. You can manually sync. However, you could also set it up on as a schedule on your FileMaker server, and maybe every 30 minutes, depending on how often you want to run that, you can query Jotform to say, hey, between the last sync time and now, give me any new forms that that you have, or any new form submissions, I should say. So yeah, that will go ahead and sync it in there. I'm going to get into a little bit of the script and the technical here of how this is being done. So go ahead and hop in here. All right, so we're going to go ahead into the get submissions and the create submissions, right? So we're doing the query here, but really what we want is the create submissions, and we can take a look at some of the information that's in here about right here where we're looking for. So you can see here that we have, for example, feedback about is one of them, and you can see that this, if we hop in here, feedback about us and hit the properties, then we go up to advanced and down to field details. We need to make sure that this unique name, we copy it and we paste it into this in this big if statement, right? Because it's looping through all of the different answers and it's trying to find the unique name. That way it can set the correct field, right? And so that is where the custom piece of this integration comes into play. But once you understand that, it's relatively straightforward to go ahead and add more information in that decision tree. All right. So that's pretty much all we have here. And like I said, you can really use this, for more in-depth thinking. You can also use this as a jumping off point to get more complex forms, but this is really the basics here. So if you have any further questions, any need for consulting, we would be happy to help here at DB Services and offer our expertise.